The north is cold and full of whispers.
Before we dive in, check the link in the description if you want exclusive Timelines members-only videos you won't find on YouTube, all on our Patreon. The tower stands alone in the Red Mountains. Stone, ancient, silent, blood stains the sand outside. 7 bodies lie cooling in the morning heat. 3 wear white cloaks. Kingsguard, the finest knights in Westeros. Ser Arthur Dayne, the sword of the morning. Dawn lies broken beside him. Sir Oswell Went, the black bat, his helm crushed. Sir Gerald High there, the white bull, Lord Commander, his throat opened. 4 wear northern furs, Stark men, dead in service to their lord. Eddard Stark kneels in the sand, alive, bleeding. Howland Reed beside him, also alive, also bleeding. They won, but the cost is everything. Ned rises, walks to the tower door, pushes it open. Inside, stairs climbing upward, the smell of blood, of death. Ned climbs, each step heavy, his sword still in his hand. Ice, Valyrian steel, still wet. The top floor, a bed, a woman lying on it. Lyanna Stark, Ned's sister, dying. Her hands are red, blood soaking the sheets. Childbirth, complications, no maester, no help. In her arms, a baby, crying, small, perfect. Lyanna's eyes find Ned, brother. Ned drops to his knees beside the bed. Lyanna, gods, what have they done to you? Not them. Me. I chose this. I chose him. I chose love. She coughs. Blood on her lips. Rhaegar, he didn't steal me. I went willingly. Why did he leave you here? Why did he die at the Trident fighting Robert while you... He thought he was saving the world. The prophecy. The prince that was promised, he thought our son would be the one to... She coughs again. Harder. It doesn't matter now, he's dead. I'm dying. But the baby, Ned, you have to protect him. Ned looks at the child. Dark hair, gray eyes, stark features. Robert will kill him, Lyanna whispers. If he knows, if anyone knows, Rhaegar's son, the last dragon. Robert will smash his head against a wall, just like Aegon, just like Rhaenys. You know he will. I won't let him. Promise me, Ned. Promise me you'll protect him. Raise him as your own. Let them scorn him. Let them hate him. But keep him alive. Promise me. Ned's voice breaks. I promise. Northern, safe. She closes her eyes. Her breathing slows. Stops. Lyanna Stark is dead. Ned holds the baby. Jon, his nephew. His sister's son, the boy he'll have to claim as his own bastard. The lie he'll have to live with forever. Howland Reed appears in the doorway. Ned, we need to move. Robert's men are searching. If they find this place... I know. Ned looks at the baby. Then at his sister's body. We burn the dead. All of them. The Kingsguard deserve that much. They died protecting what they believed in. Outside, the 7 bodies arranged. 3 Kingsguard together. 4 Stark men together. Howland and Ned gather wood. Build 3 pyres. 1 for Arthur Dayne. 1 for Oswell Went. 1 for Gerald High there. The Kingsguard were anointed as protectors of kings. Symbolically royal, their blood carries weight, power, meaning. Ned lights the first pyre. Arthur Dayne's body catches, flames rising. The second pyre, Oswell Went burning. The third pyre, Gerald High there consumed by fire. The smoke rises, thick, black, carrying east on the wind. 3 pyres burning simultaneously. 3 kings' blood, 3 sacrifices. The smoke travels over the Red Mountains, over the narrow sea, north and east, across hundreds of miles. Skagos, the stone island, 400 miles northeast of the Tower of Joy. Deep beneath the frozen mountains, in caverns carved by ancient ice and heated by geothermal vents, where the earth bleeds warmth into the endless cold. A chamber. Massive, the walls black stone. The floor cracked and steaming. Something sleeps here, has slept for 150 years. A shape, coiled enormous beyond comprehension, scales like black castle stones, each one the size of a shield. Wings folded against a body that fills the entire cavern, 200 feet from wingtip to wingtip. A tail that could wrap around Winterfell's keep. A head the size of a feast hall. Jaws that could swallow a mammoth whole. The cannibal, the wild dragon of Dragonstone, the beast that fled after the dance of the dragons. The monster that disappeared from history. He didn't die. He came here, to Skagos, to the warmth beneath the stone, to sleep, to wait. For 170 years he has slept, but now the smoke from the Tower of Joy reaches Skagos, seeps down through cracks in the mountain, into the deep places, into the dragon's chamber. Blood calls to blood, fire calls to fire. Two green eyes open, each eye the size of a wagon wheel, glowing, burning, ancient. The dragon's breathing changes, faster, deeper, bellows the size of houses filling and emptying. A rumble, deep, primal. The sound of the earth itself waking, the island shakes. Avalanches fall from the peaks, the sea around Skagos churns, waves crashing against black cliffs. Above, in the village of the Stoneborn, the Skagosi rush from their huts, warriors in furs and bone armor, women carrying children, elders leaning on staffs. They run toward the Maw of Stone, the great opening in the central mountain, the place they call the Temple of the Worm. The ground shakes beneath their feet, harder, stronger. The elder leading them stops at the Maw's entrance, kneels, places his forehead against the stone. The king wakes, the prophecy begins. The others kneel, 200 Skagosi, bowing to the mountain, to the god beneath. The stone worm rises, the first winter, the last flame. The one who dreams the dragon's dreams comes. Inside the cavern, the cannibal's eyes blaze brighter. He doesn't move, not yet. Too soon, too weak after so long sleeping, but he's awake, aware, hungry. And somewhere, far to the south, a child has been born. A child whose blood calls to him, whose mind will touch his, whose soul will bind with his across 400 miles of sea and stone. The Tower of Joy. The same moment Ned holds the baby. Jon. The child's eyes are closed, sleeping, peaceful, then they snap open. Gray eyes, Stark eyes. But for 1 second, just one, they flash green. Burning green, dragon green. Ned gasps. Nearly drops the baby, the green fades, gray returns. The baby closes his eyes, sleeps again. Howland Reed stares. Ned, what was that? Ned's hands shake. I don't know. I don't know what I just saw. His eyes. They were. I know what I saw. Ned's voice is hard. Frightened. We don't speak of this. Ever. Do you understand? Howland nods. The gods are watching this child. Or something worse. Ned looks down at Jon. At the baby who just showed dragon eyes. At the nephew he promised to protect. What have I brought into the world? The pyres burn behind them, the smoke rising, carrying east, and on Skagos, in the deep places, the cannibal rumbles, a sound like thunder, like mountains grinding together, the bond has formed. Dragon and child, fire and ice, ancient beast and newborn boy, two souls, one connection. It will take years to manifest, years for the child to understand, years for the dragon to reach across the distance, but the link is forged, in blood, in fire. In the moment 3 kings' blood burned, and a Targaryen Stark hybrid took his first breath. The prophecy has begun. Winterfell, the north. 283 AC, 3 weeks later. Ned Stark rides through the gates, home, finally. The war is over. Robert sits the Iron Throne. The Targaryens are dead. The realm is at peace. Ned should feel relief, victory, pride. Instead, he feels only dread. He dismounts, in his arms, wrapped in furs, a baby, Jon. Catelyn Stark stands on the steps, his wife, married only months before the war began, now reunited. She sees the baby, her face goes white, then red. Ned. What is that? His name is Jon. He's my son. You're bastard. Yes. Catelyn's voice shakes. You bring your bastard home, to my home, to raise alongside our son. Robb toddles out from behind her skirts. 2 years old, red-haired. Tully features. Ned kneels, shows Jon to Robb. This is your brother, Jon. You'll grow up together. Catelyn grabs Ned's arm. You can't do this to me. To us, send him away. To a foster, he stays. Ned's voice is iron. Final, he's a Stark. He stays at Winterfell. I won't hear another word about it. He walks past her, into the castle, to the nursery. He places Jon in a cradle, beside Robb's. The two boys, half-brothers, one trueborn, one bastard, one with tully red hair and blue eyes, one with stark dark hair and gray eyes. Ned looks at them, at the lie he's living, at the secret he'll carry to his grave. "I'm sorry," he whispers to Jon, "for what you'll endure, for what they'll call you, for the life you'll never have. But I promised your mother, and I keep my promises." Jon's eyes open, gray, normal. No green flash, no dragon fire, just a baby, innocent, unknowing. Ned exhales. Maybe it was a trick of the light. Maybe the stress of battle. Maybe Jon's eyes close again, and for just a fraction of a second before they shut, green. Ned's blood runs cold. Whatever happened at the Tower of Joy, whatever woke when Jon was born, it's not over, it's only beginning. Winterfell, 286 AC, 3 years later. Jon is 3 years old, walking, talking, playing with Robb in the courtyard. But the nights are different. Maester Luwin's chamber, night, the Maester writing in his journal by candlelight. A knock, frantic. He opens the door. A servant, Maester. It's the bastard boy, he's screaming. Won't stop. "Lady Stark sent me to fetch you." Luwin follows, to the nursery. Jon is in his bed, eyes closed, asleep, but screaming, thrashing his small hands clawing at the air. Catelyn stands in the corner, arms crossed, face hard. This is the third night this week. Whatever demon possesses him, I want it gone. Luwin approaches the bed, touches Jon's forehead, hot, feverish. "Jon, wake up, you're dreaming." Jon's eyes snap open, gray, terrified. He looks around, at the room, at Luwin, at Catelyn. "I was swimming," Jon gasps, "in black water, so cold, so deep, and I was hungry, so hungry. I ate fish, bigger than horses. I swallowed them whole." Luwin frowns. "It was just a dream, child. Dreams can't hurt you." "It didn't feel like a dream. It felt real. I could taste the fish. I could feel the water. I could see the bottom of the ocean." Catelyn's voice is cold. "The boy is mad. Stark blood or no, there's something wrong with him." "He's 3 years old," Luwin says gently. "Children have vivid imaginations. He'll grow out of it." The dreams continue, every night, swimming, hunting, eating creatures massive beyond belief. He describes whales, sharks, things that live in the deep, dark places of the sea, things a 3-year-old boy from Winterfell should never know exist. Skagos, the same night. The cannibal rises from the depths of the ocean, water pouring off scales, a whale in his jaws. He crushes it, swallows it whole, bones and all. Then he dives again back into the black water, hunting. He's awake more often now, still not fully emerged from hibernation, but waking for longer periods, feeding, growing stronger. And in his mind, faint but growing clearer, a presence. A small presence, young, confused, frightened. The child, the one whose birth woke him. The cannibal can feel the boy's mind, can sense his dreams, can share his experiences. When the dragon hunts whales, the boy dreams of swimming. When the dragon feeds, the boy dreams of hunger satisfied. The bond is forming, slowly, unconsciously. Neither fully understands it yet, but it's there, growing, strengthening. Blood calls to blood, dragon calls to Targaryen, ancient beast calls to hybrid child, and with each passing year, the connection deepens. Winterfell, 290 AC, 7 years after Jon's birth, the courtyard, training yard, morning. Jon and Robb spar with wooden swords. Ser Roderick Cassel watches, correcting, teaching. Robb swings high, Jon ducks. Normal, Robb feints left, Jon blocks. Expected. Then Robb tries something new, a low sweep, fast, unpredictable. Jon dodges backward, perfectly, before the strike even completes. "How did you see that coming, boy?" Jon hesitates. I don't know. I just knew." Robb laughs. "You're getting better, brother." But Jon looks troubled, confused, because the truth is, he did see it coming, but not from ground level, not with his own eyes. He saw it from above, from the sky, looking down at the courtyard, at himself and Robb, at the exact angle and timing of Robb's strike. For just a fraction of a second, Jon was watching from somewhere else, somewhere high above Winterfell, somewhere with wings. That night, Jon's chamber. He lies in bed, eyes closed, but not sleeping, thinking. The dreams have changed. They're not just swimming anymore. Now there's flying, soaring, the wind rushing past, the world spreading out below like a map. He sees islands, mountains, frozen seas, black cliffs, and sometimes, just sometimes, he feels like he's not dreaming at all, like he's actually there, like his mind is somewhere else while his body sleeps in Winterfell. He opens his eyes, stares at the ceiling. What am I? No answer. Just silence. But far to the east, on Skagos, in the caverns beneath the maw of stone, the cannibal's eyes open. He hears the question, feels the boy's confusion, tastes the child's fear, and for the first time in 170 years the dragon responds. Not with words, dragons don't speak, not in language, but with images, with feelings, with shared consciousness. Jon gasps, sits bolt upright in bed, because suddenly, for just a heartbeat, he's not in Winterfell. He's in a cavern, massive, hot, the walls glowing with geothermal heat. He sees himself, but wrong, huge, scaled, black as midnight. He sees claws the size of swords, wings folded against a body that fills the entire space. He sees green eyes, his eyes, but not his. The dragon's eyes, he feels the dragon's thoughts, ancient, primal, hungry, powerful, and the dragon feels him, young, weak, confused, but connected, bound. Jon blinks. The vision shatters. He's back in his bed, in Winterfell, small, human, 7 years old. But his hands are shaking, his heart pounding, because now he knows. The dreams aren't dreams, they're real. Somewhere, far away, there's a dragon, and somehow impossibly Jon is connected to it. Winterfell. 293 AC. Jon is 10 years old. The library. Night. Candles burning low. Jon sits at a table, surrounded by books, stolen from Maester Luwin's shelves when the old man wasn't watching. Books about dragons, about the Targaryen conquest, about the dance of the dragons, about Valyria. He reads hungrily, desperate for answers. A page stops him cold. A description of the wild dragons of Dragonstone. 3 wild dragons were known to inhabit the island during the reign of King Jaehaerys I, Sheep-stealer, Grey Ghost, and the Cannibal. The Cannibal was the largest and most fearsome. Coal-black scales, green eyes. He fed on dragon eggs and hatchlings, hence his name. During the Dance of the Dragons, many tried to claim him. All died. After the war, the Cannibal disappeared. His fate remains unknown. Coal-black scales, green eyes, the dragon from his visions, the beast he's been seeing in his dreams for 10 years. It's real, it exists. Or it did. The cannibal, Jon whispers. The name feels right, feels true. And the moment he speaks it, his vision blurs. The library fades. He's in the cavern again, but this time it's different, clearer, sharper. He can feel the stone beneath the dragon's claws, can taste the sulfur in the air, can hear the echo of his own breathing. Deep, slow, powerful. He turns the dragon's head, and sees through the dragon's eyes, in real time, not a memory, not a dream, right now. This moment, the dragon is looking at him, seeing through Jon's eyes just as Jon sees through the dragon's. A perfect mirror, a perfect bond. Jon tries to move, to test it. He thinks, lift your wing. The dragon's right wing unfolds. Slowly, massive, the membrane stretching. 200 feet of bone and scale and power. Jon gasps. I did that. I made him move. He thinks, lower it. The wing folds again. Jon's heart pounds. Excitement, terror, wonder. He has a dragon, a real dragon, the Cannibal, the largest, oldest, most dangerous dragon in the world. And somehow, he can control it. The library door opens. Maester Luwin enters. Jon, what are you doing awake at this? He sees the books, the dragon histories. His face pales. Where did you get those? Jon blinks. The vision shatters. He's back in the library, back in his small 10-year-old body. I borrowed them. These are dangerous texts. Not for children, Lewin gathers the books. What are you looking for in here? Jon hesitates. Should he tell? Can he tell? No, not yet. Not until he understands more. I just wanted to read about dragons, about the Targaryens. Is that wrong? Lewin's eyes narrow, suspicious. Why the sudden interest in dragons? Because they're interesting. Because they conquered Westeros. Because Jon meets Lewin's eyes. Because I dream about them every night, and I want to know if that means something. Lewin goes very still. What kind of dreams? Flying, hunting, fire. Jon's voice is quiet, careful. Green fire. Lewin sets the books down, sits across from Jon. Jon, listen to me very carefully. Dreams are just dreams. Dragons are dead. They've been dead for over a century. Whatever you're seeing in your sleep, it's your mind playing tricks. Nothing more. But what if it's not? What if it is? Lewin's voice is firm, final. And you must never speak of this again, especially not to Lady Catelyn or to anyone outside Winterfell. Do you understand? Jon nods. I understand. But he doesn't believe it. He knows what he felt, what he saw, what he controlled. The dragon is real, the bond is real, and every night it grows stronger. Skagos. The Maw of Stone? That same night the cannibal stands in the central chamber, fully awake now, no longer hibernating. He stretches his wings, the tips scraping the cavern ceiling 300 feet above. He opens his jaws. Green flame pours out, illuminating the entire space, the heat intense enough to melt stone. Outside, the Skagosi watch the glow from the maw. They kneel, they pray. The worm wakes fully. The child grows. The bond strengthens. Soon they will meet. Soon the prophecy will be fulfilled. The elder speaks to the gathered tribe. Prepare the offerings, whales, seals. Whatever we can drag to the maw, the king must feed. He must grow strong, because when the child comes, and he will come, the worm must be ready. When he can no longer resist, the elder looks toward the mainland, toward Winterfell. Soon, perhaps 5 years, perhaps 10, but he will come, the worm has shown us in visions, the boy with Stark eyes and dragon blood. He will come, and when he does, the world will burn. Winterfell, 295 AC. Jon is 12 years old. The great hall, evening, the Stark family at dinner, Ned at the head of the table, Catelyn beside him, Robb, Sansa, Arya, Bran, Rickon. At the end, separate, always separate. Catelyn doesn't look at him, hasn't looked at him in years. He's a stain, a reminder of Ned's dishonor. Jon eats in silence, barely tasting the food, because his mind is elsewhere, east, always east. He can feel it now, even when awake. The pull, the call, the dragon wants him to come, is waiting for him, has been waiting for 12 years. And Jon wants to go, desperately, more than anything. But how? He's 12. He can't just leave Winterfell, can't just ride east into the unknown. Not yet, but soon. Robb leans over, whispers, "You're doing it again." Doing what? Staring east, like you're looking at something the rest of us can't see. Robb grins. What's out there? A girl? Just thinking. About what? About where I belong. If I belong anywhere? Robb's smile fades. You belong here, at Winterfell, with us. You're my brother. Am I? Lady Catelyn doesn't think so. She's wrong. And father knows it. You're a Stark, Jon, bastard or not. Jon wants to believe it, but he knows the truth. He's not just a Stark. He's something else, something more, something dangerous. And Winterfell, safe, cold, honorable Winterfell, isn't big enough to hold what he's becoming. That night, Jon's chamber, he lies in bed, eyes closed. He doesn't fight the pull anymore, doesn't resist. He lets his mind drift east, across the miles, across the shivering sea, to Skagos. To the dragon, the transition is instant now, smooth, practiced. One moment he's Jon Snow in Winterfell, the next he's the cannibal in the Maw of Stone. He feels the dragon's body, massive, powerful, every muscle coiled with strength. He thinks, move. The dragon steps forward, the ground shaking under his weight. He thinks, open your jaws. The dragon's mouth opens, teeth like swords, breath hot enough to boil blood. He thinks, fly. The dragon moves toward the maw's opening, the tunnel leading outside. But then, resistance. The dragon hesitates, not refusing, but questioning. Why, the feeling says. Not in words, but in sensation, in shared thought. Jon understands. The dragon is asking, why fly? Why now? Why not wait for the boy to come here first? Jon thinks back. I want to see you, in person, not just in dreams. I want to stand before you. I want to know you're real. The dragon's response is immediate, clear. Then come. Jon gasps, sits up in bed, back in Winterfell, back in his body. But the message is burned into his mind. Come. The dragon is calling him, directly, consciously. And Jon knows he can't wait anymore. He has to go. To Skagos, to the dragon, to the truth of what he is. He's 12 years old, too young, too weak, too unprepared, but the call is too strong. Soon, maybe not this year, maybe not next, but soon, he will go east. He will find the cannibal. And he will discover what happens when a Stark Targaryen hybrid stands before the oldest, largest, most dangerous dragon in the world. Winterfell, 297 AC. Jon is 14 years old. The courtyard, training, Jon and Robb sparring again. But now they're older, stronger, better. Jon moves like water, fast, fluid, unpredictable. Robb swings. Jon isn't there. He's already behind Robb, blade at his brother's neck. Ser Roderick claps. Excellent, Jon. You fight like you can see the future. Jon lowers his blade. Just instinct. It's the dragon. Jon has spent so many hours inside the cannibal's mind that he thinks differently now, sees differently. He doesn't just see the opponent in front of him. He sees from above, from the sky. He sees angles, trajectories, movements before they happen. It's predatory, aerial, dragon-minded, and it makes him the best fighter in Winterfell. Better than Robb, better than Theon, better than anyone his age. That night, the gods wood, Jon kneels before the heart tree, the weirwood, the face carved into the trunk watching him with red eyes. Old gods, Jon whispers. If you're listening, tell me what I'm supposed to do. I feel it every day now. The pull, the hunger. I dream of fire, of flying, of burning the world. And I don't know if that makes me Stark or Targaryen or something else entirely. I don't know if I'm supposed to stay here or go east or... A sound. Behind him, he turns. Ned stands there, silent, watching. Father. Ned approaches, sits beside Jon on the ground. You feel it, don't you? The call. Jon's eyes widen. You know? I've known since you were born, since your eyes flashed green at the Tower of Joy, since the nightmares started when you were 3, since you began moving like something that hunts from the sky. Ned's voice is sad, heavy. I've watched you become something I don't understand, something I'm afraid of, but you're still my son, and I still love you. What am I, Father? Ned is silent for a long moment. You're Lyanna's son, and Rhaegar's, which makes you a Stark and a Targaryen. Fire and ice. And something about that combination, the warging blood and the dragon blood, it's created something new, something the world hasn't seen. The dragon, it's real, isn't it? The one I dream about. I don't know. I hope not. Because if it is, if there's truly a dragon out there waiting for you, then everything I've done to protect you, to hide you, to keep you safe, it's all been for nothing. You were never meant to stay hidden. Jon looks at Ned, at the man who raised him, who protected him, who lied for him for 14 years. What do? You make a choice. You can stay here. At Winterfell, try to bury what you are. Go to the wall when you're old enough. Take the black. Live a quiet life. Ned pauses. Or you can go east. Find the dragon. Discover what you're truly capable of. And accept that once you do, there's no going back. You'll never be Jon Snow the bastard again. You'll be something else. Something dangerous. Which should I choose? Ned stands. That's not for me to decide. But Jon, whatever you choose, I'll support you, because you're my son. Blood or not, you're mine. He walks away, leaving Jon alone in the godswood. Jon looks up at the stars. East, always east. The pull is stronger than ever. The dragon is calling, louder, clearer. Come, it says. I am ready. Are you? Jon closes his eyes, takes a breath. He's 14 years old, almost a man, almost ready. 1 more year, maybe 2. And then he'll go. He'll ride east to Skagos, to the Cannibal, to his destiny. The night of green fire, 297 AC, 6 months later. Winterfell, everyone asleep. Jon lies in bed, but his mind is elsewhere. He's in the maw of stone, inside the Cannibal, fully merged, completely connected. Tonight is different. Tonight the dragon wants to fly. Really fly, not just hunt, not just feed. Fly. Jon doesn't resist. He lets the dragon take control, lets the beast lead. The Cannibal moves through the tunnels, out of the maw, into the open air. The night is clear, stars blazing overhead. The dragon spreads his wings, 200 feet from tip to tip, blotting out the stars. He leaps into the sky. The power of it floods through Jon. The muscle, the strength, the sheer impossible joy of flight. The Cannibal climbs higher, higher above the clouds, into the freezing upper air. And then he breathes. Green fire, a torrent of flame, brighter than the sun, hotter than wildfire. It lights up the sky, a column of emerald flame reaching toward the heavens. For 3 full minutes the dragon breathes, until the entire northern horizon is glowing green. Below, across the north, thousands see it. At Winterfell, Ned stands on the battlements, staring. "Gods have mercy," he whispers. "It's real. It's all real." At the wall, the Night's Watch sees the green glow. Men point shout, fear, at White Harbor. Sailors watch from the docks. What is that? An aurora? At the last hearth. The great Jon Umber sees it. That's no northern lights, that's dragon fire. Old Nan sits beneath the heart tree, watching the green sky. "The stone worm hungers," she says, "and the dragon king is waking. The gods help us all." In his bed, Jon's body convulses. His eyes roll back, green light flickering in his pupils. He's feeling everything the dragon feels, the power, the unstoppable, terrible joy of destruction. And for the first time, Jon isn't afraid. He's exhilarated. He wants more. The dragon descends, back to Skagos, back to the maw. Jon gasps, back in his body, back in his bed. But something has changed. He sits up, looks at his hands, they're shaking, not from fear, from anticipation. The bond is complete. The dragon is his to command, his to merge with, his to become. And Jon knows there's no more waiting. Next year, when Ned goes south to serve Robert, when Jon is supposed to go to the wall, he won't go to the wall. He'll go east, to Skagos, to the Cannibal, to the destiny he's been running toward his entire life. Everything is about to change. The King's Road, heading south from Winterfell, 298 AC. Late summer, the royal procession stretches for miles. King Robert Baratheon, Queen Cersei, their children, hundreds of guards, servants, wagons. At the front, Robert rides beside Ned Stark, laughing, drinking, reliving the glory days. Behind them, the Stark children, Robb, Sansa, Arya, Bran, all excited, going south, seeing King's Landing. Jon rides at the back, separate, as always. But his mind isn't on the procession, isn't on Robert or the journey south. His mind is east, always east. The pull is constant now. Every waking moment, a hunger in his chest, a voice in his skull. Come, come, come. The dragon is calling, has been calling for weeks, growing more insistent, more demanding. Jon grips his reins, tries to focus, tries to stay present. But it's getting harder. The bond is too strong. The dragon too close to the surface of his thoughts. Ghost trots beside his horse. The white direwolf, Jon's companion, his other bond. But Ghost isn't enough anymore. The wolf is small, limited, earthbound. Jon needs wings, needs fire, needs the sky. Benjen Stark rides up beside him. Ned's younger brother, Ranger of the Night's Watch. "Jon, you're quiet." At the uncle who's offering him a life, a purpose, a place. "I'm thinking about my choices." Benjen frowns. "Choices, Jon, we talked about this. The wall is the best option for a bastard, I know." Jon's voice is flat, emotionless. "But what if I don't want to go to the wall? Watch your brothers and sisters grow up as lords and ladies while you're just there? No, not that either. Then what?" Jon meets Benjen's eyes. "I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out." "You've changed, Jon. Over the past year, you're harder, colder, like something's eating at you from the inside. Something is eating at him. Something with scales and wings and green fire. And soon, very soon, Jon will stop fighting it. Winterfell, the courtyard. The next morning, the royal procession has stopped for the night. Robert and Ned are hunting, the children playing. Jon stands alone in the training yard, sword in hand, practicing forms. But his movements are different now. Not human, not northern. He strikes from angles that don't make sense on the ground. He pivots like he's diving. He lunges like he's swooping. Theon Greyjoy watches from the side, mockingly. "What are you doing, Snow? Fighting invisible birds?" Jon ignores him, continues the forms. Theon laughs. "You're mad, everyone knows it. The bastard who talks to himself, who stares east like he's waiting for something, who fights like a what?" Jon's voice is quiet, dangerous. Theon goes pale. Nothing. Just joking. Jon holds the blade there for a moment longer, then lowers it, steps back. "Don't joke about things you don't understand." He walks away, leaving Theon shaking. Because for just a second, just 1 second, Theon saw Jon's eyes. And they weren't gray, they were green. That night, Jon's chamber, Winterfell. Jon lies in bed, but he doesn't sleep. He can't sleep. The dragon won't let him. The pull is unbearable now, like hooks in his chest dragging him east. He closes his eyes, stops resisting. Instantly, he's in the maw of stone, inside the cannibal. But this time, the dragon isn't hunting, isn't feeding. The dragon is waiting, watching the entrance to the cavern, expectant. And Jon understands. The dragon knows Jon is close, knows the time is coming. Jon thinks, "Soon. I'll come soon. I promise." The dragon's response is immediate, a feeling, a command. Now. Jon gasps, sits up in bed, heart pounding. The dragon wants him now, not later, not when it's convenient, now. But Jon can't, not yet. Ned is going south to King's Landing. Benjen is taking Jon to the wall. Everything is planned. If Jon disappears now, they'll search for him, they'll find him, The dragon's voice cuts through his thoughts, not words, but meaning, clear and absolute. They cannot stop us. Nothing can stop us. Come. Jon stands, walks to the window, looks east. The moon is full, the night clear, perfect for traveling. He makes a decision. He's not going to the wall, he's not going to wait for permission, for the right time. He's going to Skagos. Tonight, Jon packs quickly. A few clothes, his sword, some food. He writes a note, short, simple. "Father, I'm sorry, I can't go to the wall. I can't explain, but I have to go east. Please don't follow me. I'll come back when I can. Jon." He leaves it on his bed, where Ned will find it in the morning. Then he slips out of his chamber, through the castle. To the stables he takes a horse, not his own. A fast one, strong. Ghost follows, silent, loyal. Jon rides out of Winterfell, east, into the darkness. No one sees him leave. No one stops him. The dragon's son is finally answering the call. The road east. 3 days later, Jon has been riding nonstop, changing horses at villages, paying with coins he saved over years, pushing himself and the animal to the limit. Ghost runs beside him, tireless. The direwolf sensing Jon's urgency. They reach White Harbor, the port city. Greystone, fishing boats. Merchant ships Jon dismounts at the docks. Finds a fisherman, old, weathered, working on nets. "I need passage to Skagos." The fisherman looks up, sees Jon. A boy, barely 15, with a direwolf and a desperate look in his eyes. "Skagos? Boy, that's death. The Stoneborn kill outsiders. They eat them, I know the stories. I'm going anyway, I'll pay." "How much?" Jon pulls out a purse. "Everything he has. This." The fisherman counts it. "Enough for a month's wages." "You're serious?" "I've never been more serious in my life." The fisherman looks at the direwolf, at Jon's eyes. Gray, but with something else lurking beneath. "You're not running from the law, are you?" "No, I'm running toward something." The fisherman shakes his head. "You're mad, but your coin is good. We leave at dawn." The shivering sea. The next morning, the fishing boat is small, cramped. It rocks violently in the northern swells. Jon stands at the bow, Ghost beside him, both staring east. The fisherman steers, watching Jon with wary eyes. What's on Skagos that's worth dying for? Jon doesn't answer, doesn't look back, because he can feel it now. The dragon. So close. Just beyond the horizon, the bond is singing in his blood. Every breath, every heartbeat. We're coming, Jon thinks. Hold on, we're almost there. The dragon's response floods through him. Joy, anticipation, hunger. Finally, the voyage takes 2 days. Rough seas, cold wind. The fishermen muttering prayers to the drowned god and the old gods and any god who listen. But finally, land. Skagos rises from the sea. Black cliffs, jagged peaks, no beaches, no harbors, just stone and ice and darkness. The fisherman brings the boat close to a rocky outcrop. This is as far as I go. You're on your own from here. Jon nods. Thank you. He jumps onto the rocks. Ghost follows, they climb. Up the black cliffs, toward the island proper. Behind them, the fisherman turns the boat around, sailing away as fast as possible. He doesn't want to see what happens next. Skagos, the black shore, midday. Jon and Ghost climb for an hour. Up steep rocks, through freezing wind. Finally, they reach the top. A plateau, covered in snow and dead grass. And waiting for them, 200 men, Skagosi warriors, massive, 7 feet tall, wearing furs and bone armor, carrying stone axes and obsidian blades. Their faces are scarred, their eyes hard, their beards long and matted. They form a semicircle around Jon, blocking any escape. Ghost growls, low, dangerous. But Jon raises a hand, easy, a man even larger than the rest, with a necklace of what looks like human finger bones. I'm Jon Snow, I've come for the dragon. Silence, the warrior staring. Then the leader steps forward, kneels, every other warrior follows. 200 Skagosi, on their knees, heads bowed. Jon blinks. What, the one who dreams the dragon's dreams? The boy with Stark eyes and Targaryen blood? We have waited, prepared, the offerings are ready. The maw is open. He stands, gestures inland, toward the central mountain, the highest peak on Skagos. Come, Dragon King, your god awaits. Jon's heart pounds. Dragon King. They're calling him Dragon King. He follows. Ghost beside him. The warriors forming an honor guard around them. They march inland, through valleys of black stone, past villages of hide tents and bone huts, past cairns of skulls, human skulls, arranged in spirals. The Skagosi they pass stop what they're doing. Stare, then kneel, women, children, elders all bowing to Jon. A child whispers to her mother. Is that him, the voice? The mother nods. The stone worm has chosen. The prophecy begins. They walk for hours, the mountain growing larger, closer. Finally they reach it, the maw of stone, a massive opening in the mountainside, 100 feet tall, 50 feet wide, leading into darkness. Heat pours from it. Geothermal warmth, the smell of sulfur and ash. The leader stops at the entrance. We go no further. Only you may enter the worm's chamber. Only you are worthy. Jon looks into the darkness, into the maw. This is it. 15 years of dreams, 15 years of calling, 15 years of becoming something more than human, all leading to this moment. He steps forward, into the darkness. Ghost follows. Behind them, the Skagosi begin to chant. Low, rhythmic, in the old tongue. Stone worm. First winter, last flame. The voice has come. The bond is made. The world will burn. The maw of stone, descending. Jon walks through tunnels carved by ancient ice and heated by the earth's blood. The walls glow faintly, bioluminescent fungi, or maybe just the reflection of heat on stone. The temperature rises. With every step deeper, Jon sheds his furs, his cloak, down to just his tunic and boots. Ghost pants, the dire wolf's white fur matted with sweat. The tunnel widens, opens, and Jon sees it. The central chamber, it's massive beyond comprehension, the ceiling lost in shadow hundreds of feet above, the floor cracked and steaming, geothermal vents hissing, and in the center, Jon stops. Can't move, can't breathe, because nothing, no dream, no vision, no shared consciousness prepared him for this. The dragon is impossibly large, Balerion the Black Dread was said to be big enough to swallow an aurochs whole. The cannibal could swallow Balerion whole. He fills the entire chamber. Coiled, his body like a mountain range, his scales each the size of a shield, black. Blacker than night, blacker than obsidian. His wings are folded but still visible, 200 feet from tip to tip, membrane-like dark silk. His tail wraps around the chamber 3 times, the tip resting near his head, and his head, it's the size of a feast hall. Horns like castle towers, jaws that could bite a keep in half, and his eyes, green, burning green. Each eye the size of a wagon wheel, staring at Jon. The dragon doesn't move, doesn't roar, doesn't breathe fire, just watches. And Jon watches back. For a long moment, neither moves. Then Jon takes a step forward. Ghost whines, stays back. The dire wolf knows this is beyond him. This is between Jon and the dragon. Jon walks across the chamber, toward the dragon's head, each step deliberate, fearless. He's been inside this beast's mind for 15 years. He knows every thought, every instinct, every memory going back 248 years. He's not afraid. He reaches the dragon's snout, looks up at the massive green eyes, and speaks, out loud, for the first time to the dragon directly. I'm here, I came, like you asked. The dragon's eye focuses, narrows, and then the voice. Not words, not language, but meaning transmitted directly into Jon's mind. Clear, absolute. WER1. We have always been one. Jon reaches out, places his hand on the dragon's scales. They're warm, hot, like touching sun-baked stone. The moment he makes contact, the bond explodes. Jon gasps, falls to his knees, because suddenly he's not just seeing through the dragon's eyes. He's experiencing everything. 248 years of memory flood into him. He sees the dance of the dragons, Dragonstone, the cannibal feeding on hatchlings, growing. Escaping the war, he sees the flight to Skagos, the descent into the maw, the first hibernation. He sees centuries of sleep, of waking, of hunting whales in the dark waters. He sees the Skagosi discovering him, worshipping him, feeding him, protecting him. He sees the moment Jon was born, the green flash, the bond forming across 400 miles. He sees everything, and the dragon sees Jon's memories too. Winterfell, Catelyn's hatred, Ned's love, Robb's brotherhood, the dreams, the pull, the journey here, 2 minds, merging, becoming one. Jon screams, not in pain, in overwhelm. In transformation, his eyes flash green, then gray, then green again. His body convulses, dragon mind and human mind battling for dominance. For a moment, Jon forgets he's human, forgets Winterfell, forgets everything but hunger and fire and wings. But then, weak, but his, he forces himself back, forces Jon Snow to the surface. No, he gasps, I'm not you, I'm with you, but I'm still me. The dragon rumbles. A sound like mountains grinding. The meaning comes through. Good. We need both. Dragon alone is beast. Boy alone is weak. Together. Jon finishes the thought. Together, we're something new. Yes, Jon stands, shaking, exhausted. But changed, he looks at his hands. They're still human, still Jon's. But he feels different, stronger, more. He looks up at the dragon, at the cannibal, at the beast who's been waiting for him for 15 years. Can I fly with you? Not just in dreams, really fly. All the way to the ground, his massive skull resting on the stone floor, an invitation. Jon doesn't hesitate. He climbs onto the dragon's head. Between the horns, gripping the scales, the dragon rises slowly, carefully, Jon clinging on. Then the dragon moves, through the chamber, into a different tunnel, one leading upward, toward the sky. Jon's heart pounds. This is it. This is real. He's about to fly. On a dragon, the largest dragon in the world. The tunnel opens. Daylight. Sky. Air. The cannibal spreads his wings and leaps. The skies above Skagos. Afternoon. Jon screams. Not in fear, in joy. Because he's flying. Actually flying. The dragon's wings beat, each stroke powerful enough to create windstorms. They climb, higher, higher, above the clouds into the freezing upper air. Jon clings to the dragon's horns, the wind tearing at him, the cold burning his face. But he doesn't care. This is freedom. This is power. This is everything he's dreamed of his entire life. The dragon banks, turns, showing Jon the world from above. Skagos spreads below. Black stone, white snow, tiny figures, the Skagosi, watching from the ground. To the south, the mainland, Winterfell somewhere beyond the horizon. To the north, the wall, the true north, the frozen wasteland. To the east, the shivering sea, endless. Dark, unknown, Jon laughs, wild, free. Yes, this is what I was meant for. The dragon responds, not with thoughts, with action. He dives, straight down, toward the sea. Jon holds on, trusting, fearless. They plunge into the water, the cold shocking, the darkness absolute. But the dragon doesn't stop. He swims. Deeper than any human could survive. Jon holds his breath, feels the dragon's muscles working, feels the power of the creature hunting. The dragon's jaws snap. He catches something. A whale, massive, but small compared to the dragon. He crushes it, kills it, rises. They break the surface, the dragon's head emerging. Jon gasping for air. The dragon tosses the whale carcass into the air, opens his jaws, catches it, swallows it whole. Jon feels the satisfaction, the hunger sated, the primal joy of the hunt. They fly again, back toward Skagos, toward the maw. The dragon lands outside the entrance. Jon slides off, soaked, exhausted, grinning like a madman. The Skagosi are there, waiting, watching. The leader approaches, kneels again. Dragon King, you have flown with the worm. You have bonded. You are one. Jon nods, still catching his breath. I am. Then what is your will? The worm is yours to command. The Stoneborn are yours to command. We have waited 170 years for this moment. What would you have us do? Jon looks at the dragon, at the cannibal, at the beast that's been waiting for him since before he was born. Then he looks south, toward the mainland, toward Winterfell, toward the realm. For now, nothing. I need time to learn, to practice, to master this bond fully. And after, Jon's eyes flash green. After, we'll see. But there's a war coming. I can feel it. Not just men fighting men. Something worse. Something from the north. And when that war comes, the realm will need a dragon. The worm has shown us visions. Of ice, of death, of the long night returning. You are right. The war comes, and you were born to fight it. Jon looks at Ghost, the direwolf sitting quietly, waiting. Come on, boy, we have work to do. He walks back into the maw, into the dragon's chamber. He's not going back to Winterfell. Not yet, not until he's ready. He'll stay here, on Skagos, with the dragon. Learning, training, becoming what he was always meant to be, the Dragon King. The boy who wargs into the oldest, largest, most dangerous beast in the world. And when he's ready, when he's truly ready, he'll return to the mainland. And the realm will never be the same. Winterfell. The next morning, Ned Stark stands in Jon's chamber, reading the note. Over and over, Father, I'm sorry I can't go to the wall. I can't explain. But I have to go east. Please don't follow me. I'll come back when I can. Jon, Catelyn stands in the doorway. He's gone. Good riddance. One less. Shut up. Ned's voice is cold, hard. Just shut up. He went to find it, the dragon. After 15 years, he finally went. Dragon, Ned, what are you? I said shut up. Ned turns, his face anguished. You don't understand. You've never understood. Jon isn't just my bastard. He's more than that. He's dangerous, powerful, and I've spent 15 years trying to keep him safe, trying to keep him hidden. And now he's gone, to Skagos, to the beast that's been calling him since he was born. You're not making sense. Dragons are dead. They've been dead for... Not all of them. Ned walks to the window, looks east. One survived. The cannibal, the wild dragon of Dragonstone. And somehow, gods know how, it bonded with Jon. At birth, and now he's gone to claim it. And when he comes back, Ned's voice drops to a whisper. When he comes back, he'll have the power to burn the world. Catelyn stares. You're mad. I wish I was. He leaves the chamber, leaves her standing there, confused, afraid. Because Ned knows, Jon is gone, And nothing, not the wall, not Winterfell, not even Ned himself can stop what's coming. The dragon's son has found his destiny. Skagos, the maw of stone. 2 weeks later, Jon stands in the central chamber, shirtless, sweating, training, but not with a sword, not with weapons, training his mind, his bond, his control. He closes his eyes, reaches out, connects. The dragon responds instantly, their minds merging. Jon doesn't climb onto the dragon, doesn't physically mount him. He wargs, fully, completely, his consciousness transferring into the dragon's massive body. Jon's human body slumps, unconscious. Ghost guards it. And Jon, the real Jon, the conscious Jon, is now the cannibal. He feels the dragon's body, every muscle, every scale, every claw, he thinks. Stand. Massive weight shifting, the chamber shaking. He thinks, walk. The dragon walks, each step deliberate, controlled. He thinks, breathe fire. The dragon opens his jaws. Green flame pours out, illuminating the entire chamber, the heat intense enough to melt stone. Jon holds it for 10 seconds. 20, 30, then stops. Closes the dragon's jaws. He's learning control, learning to be the dragon while remaining Jon, learning to use this power without losing himself. You grow stronger every day, Dragon King. Soon you will be ready. Ready for what? To return to the mainland, to face what comes. The worm has shown me visions of your father in danger, of war, of a golden-haired boy who murders the honorable. Jon's eyes, the dragon's eyes, focus. What did you say? Your father? The one who raised you, Ned Stark. He is in danger. In the south, in the city of lies. The worm sees it, feels it, and so do you if you listen. Jon disconnects from the dragon, his consciousness snapping back to his human body. He gasps, sits up. Father, in danger. How? The visions are unclear, but the threat is real and growing. You must decide, Dragon King. Stay here, continue your training, or fly south. Use your power before you have mastered it. Risk everything to save one man. Jon doesn't hesitate. He's not just one man. He's my father. He raised me, protected me, loved me when no one else would. Then what will you do? We fly south, now, today, before it's too late. The elder nods, then the prophecy accelerates. The Dragon King returns to the realm, and the world will see fire again. Jon climbs onto the dragon, not warging this time, actually riding, physically bonded. Ghost, stay here, guard this place, I'll come back for you. The dire wolf whines, but obeys. Jon grips the dragon's horns. Let's go, south, to the riverlands, to wherever father is. We find him, we protect him, and we show the realm what happens when they threaten a Stark. The sound shaking the entire mountain. The Skagosi outside hear it. They kneel, they pray. The Dragon King flies, the stone worm hunts. The realm will burn. The prophecy is fulfilled. Out of the maw, into the sky. Jon clings on, the wind tearing at him, his hair whipping back. Below, Skagos shrinks, disappears. Ahead, the mainland. Winterfell, the riverlands. King's Landing, Jon's eyes flash green. I'm coming, father. Hold on. I'm coming. Flying south. The cannibal flies faster than any ship, faster than any horse, faster than wind itself. His massive wings beat, each stroke carrying them miles. Jon holds on, not with warging, with his actual hands, actually riding. It's terrifying, exhilarating, impossible. But it's real. Below, the landscape changes. Skagos to sea, sea to coast, coast to land. The wall passes beneath them. Jon sees the rangers looking up, pointing, screaming, but they're too high, too fast, gone before anyone can react. Winterfell next. Jon sees the castle, his home, the place he grew up. But he doesn't land, doesn't stop. He's not ready to explain. He flies on, south, toward the riverlands, because the visions are getting stronger, the feeling of danger, of threat, of death approaching Ned Stark. Jon leans forward, whispers into the dragon's ear. Faster. We need to go faster. The dragon responds, wings beating harder, speed increasing. They're flying at a speed that would kill a normal rider, but Jon isn't normal. The bond protects him, keeps him alive, keeps him connected. The riverlands appear. Green fields, rivers, roads, And on those roads, armies. Jon sees them, thousands of men, banners flying, the dire wolf of Stark, the Trout of Tully, the twin towers of Frey, and opposing them, the Lion of Lannister. War. The war has started. Jon's heart races. Father, where are you? He scans the battlefield, looking for Ned, for any sign. Then he sees it. A camp. Northern banners, a command tent, and inside that tent, Jon can feel it through the bond, through some instinct he can't explain. Ned is there. There. Land there. The dragon descends, not gently, not slowly. He drops like a stone, wings folding, free-falling toward the battlefield. Men below see the shadow, look up, scream. Dragon, gods have mercy, run. The cannibal spreads his wings at the last second, slowing, but still hitting the ground with earth-shaking force. Soldiers scatter, horses panic, tents collapse from the shockwave. The dragon lands between the two armies, his shadow covering both. Jon dismounts, jumps down from the dragon's back, lands hard but stays on his feet. He draws his sword, looks around. Both armies have stopped, frozen, staring at the dragon, at Jon, at the boy who just arrived on the back of a creature from legends. Jon walks toward the northern camp. The dragon follows, slowly, each step shaking the earth. Soldiers part, creating a path, too terrified to do anything else. Jon reaches the command tent, pulls open the flap. Inside, Ned Stark, Robb Stark, the great Jon Umber, the Blackfish, other northern lords, all staring at Jon, mouths open, eyes wide. Ned stands slowly. Jon, I heard you needed help. Ned looks past Jon, at the dragon visible through the tent opening, at the massive black beast with green eyes. Gods, Ned whispers. You really did it. You found it. You claimed it. Jon nods. I did, and I came to end this war, before you die in it. Robb finds his voice. Jon? How? What? That's a dragon, a real dragon. His name is the Cannibal, and he's mine, has been since the day I was born. Jon looks at Ned. We need to talk. About who I really am, about what I can do, and about how we're going to win this war in a single day. Outside, the dragon roars. The sound echoes across the riverlands, across Westeros. For the first time in over 150 years, a dragon's roar is heard in the Seven Kingdoms, and every man, woman, and child who hears it knows the world has changed. The age of dragons has returned, and nothing will ever be the same again. The Riverlands, the Northern War Camp, the command tent. 298 AC, midday, Ned Stark stares at Jon, at his son, the boy he raised, the secret he's protected for 15 years. Standing in the tent entrance, covered in salt spray and sweat, eyes flashing between gray and green. Behind him, through the open flap, the cannibal, massive, impossible, real. Robb breaks the silence. Jon, what in the seven hells is happening? How do you have a dragon? Dragons are extinct. They've been dead for... They're not all dead. Jon's voice is calm, certain. The cannibal survived, fled to Skagos after the dance of the dragons. He's been there for 170 years, hibernating, waiting. The great Jon steps forward. Waiting for what? For me. Jon looks at Ned. We need to talk. Privately, just you and me and Robb. Everyone else, out. The northern lords exchange glances. The great Jon frowns. We don't take orders from bastards. The dragon roars outside, the sound so loud the tent poles shake, men stumble, cover their ears. Jon doesn't flinch. I set out. The lords leave, quickly, quietly. Only Ned, Robb, and Jon remain. Jon closes the tent flap, turns to face them. Father, I know the truth. I've always known, since I was old enough to understand the dreams, the visions, the bond. And my father was Rhaegar Targaryen. That I'm not Jon Snow. I'm Aegon Targaryen, 6th of my name, the heir to the Iron Throne. Robb goes white. What? Jon, that's impossible. You're my brother. I'm your cousin, not your brother. Ned raised me, protected me, lied for me. Because if Robert knew, if anyone knew, I'd be dead. Jon looks at Ned. But the secret doesn't matter anymore. Because the dragon knows, has always known. And the bond formed the day I was born. Blood called to blood, Fire called to fire, and now I'm here with the most dangerous weapon in Westeros. And I'm asking, what do you need me to do? Ned closes his eyes, breathes, opens them. Why did you come back? You could have stayed on Skagos, hidden, safe. Why risk exposure? Because the dragon showed me a vision of you in danger, of war, of death coming for you. And I won't let that happen. You're my father, the only one that matters. And I'll burn this entire realm to ash before I let someone hurt you. Ned walks to Jon, places his hands on the boy's shoulders. You shouldn't have come. The moment Robert learns you have a dragon, the moment he discovers you're Rhaegar's son, he'll want you dead. Dragon or no dragon, he'll try. Let him try. Jon's eyes flash green. Robert Baratheon is a drunk who won the throne with a hammer. I have a dragon that could swallow his castle whole. If he comes for me, he dies. Simple as that. Robb finds his voice. Jon, if what you're saying is true, if you're really a Targaryen, then you have a claim to the Iron Throne. Better than Joffrey's, better than anyone's. I don't want the throne. I want father safe. I want this war ended. I want to go back to Skagos and train, because something worse is coming. From the north, beyond the wall, I've seen it in the dragon's visions. Ice and death and darkness. The real war hasn't even started yet. Ned's grip tightens. The White Walkers. You've seen them? Not clearly. But the dragon has lived 248 years. He remembers things. Old things. Cold things, things that shouldn't exist but do. And they're coming, which means this war, Stark versus Lannister, Baratheon versus Targaryen, it's a distraction, a waste. And I'm going to end it today. Surrender or burn. Outside the tent, the battlefield. The Northern Army stands on one side, 20,000 men. Stark, Tully, Karstark, Umber, Mormont banners flying. The Lannister army stands on the other, 45,000 men, lions everywhere, gold armor, red cloaks, and between them, the dragon. The cannibal stands perfectly still, a mountain of black scales and green eyes, his presence alone keeping both armies frozen in terror. Jon walks out of the tent, Robb and Ned behind him. The northern soldiers part, creating a path to the dragon. Jon walks to the beast, places his hand on the massive foreleg, feels the warmth, the power. He doesn't climb, doesn't mount. He closes his eyes, wargs. His body goes limp. Ned catches him, lowers him gently to the ground. And the dragon moves. The cannibal's head turns, looking directly at the Lannister army, at the golden banners, at the men in their shining armor. The dragon's eyes focus, narrow. Jon is inside now, fully merged, experiencing the world through the beast's senses. He can smell the soldiers, thousands of them, meat, fear, sweat. He can hear their heartbeats racing, panicked. He can taste their terror on the wind, and he feels the dragon's hunger, not for food, for dominance, for destruction, for proving, after 170 years of hiding, that nothing in this world can challenge him. Jon speaks, not with his human mouth. That body is unconscious on the ground, but with the dragon's mind, projecting thoughts into the air, into the minds of everyone on the battlefield. The voice that emerges is not human. It's ancient, primal, the voice of fire and stone. Lannisters, you have made war on the north, on the Starks, on my family. I am Jon Snow, son of Ned Stark, and I have come to end this. The Lannister soldiers scream. Some run, others drop their weapons. But their commanders hold, barely. Jaime Lannister steps forward, the Kingslayer, golden armor, white cloak, sword drawn. A dragon and a bastard. The realm falls deeper into madness every day. The dragon's head lowers, bringing one massive green eye level with Jaime, staring at him. I am no bastard. I am Aegon Targaryen, son of Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark, heir to the Iron Throne, and you, Kingslayer, will kneel, or you will burn. I can kill another. The dragon's jaws open, just slightly, green flame flickering between the teeth. Try. For a moment, Jaime hesitates. His hand tightens on his sword. Then he looks at the dragon. Really looks. At the size, the power, the absolute certainty of death if he attacks. He drops his sword, falls to his knees. I yield. The dragon's jaws close. The flame extinguishes. Wise. Now tell your father, tell Tywin Lannister, tell Cersei and Joffrey, the dragon has returned, and if they continue this war, I will burn Casterly Rock to ash. I will melt the Red Keep. I will turn King's Landing into a second Harrenhal. They have one choice, peace or fire. Jaime looks up, and Ned Stark, what happens to him? Ned Stark is under my protection. Anyone who harms him answers to me. Anyone who threatens him burns. Tell Cersei, tell Robert, tell everyone. The North is mine to defend, and I defend with dragonfire. Jaime nods. Slowly, I'll tell them. Good. Now go. Take your army, march back to the Westerlands, and pray I never see you on a battlefield again. The Lannister army retreats. Not in formation, not organized. They flee. 45,000 men running from one dragon. Jon disconnects, his consciousness snapping back to his human body. He gasps, sits up. Ned helps him stand. Did it work? Jon asks. Ned nods, stunned. They're running, all of them. You ended the war in 5 minutes. Robb laughs, disbelieving, amazed. You just made Jaime Lannister, the Kingslayer, kneel with words. And a dragon. Jon looks at the retreating army, at the dust cloud they're raising. Words backed by the largest dragon in history, that tends to be persuasive. The northern soldiers cheer. Roaring, celebrating. The war is over. They won without a single drop of blood. The great Jon approaches, kneels before Jon. I don't care if you're a bastard or a Targaryen or the king of the Bloody Summer Isles. You just saved thousands of northern lives. You have my loyalty and my axe. Other lords follow, kneeling, pledging. Jon looks uncomfortable. I don't want your oaths. I want you to go home, rebuild, prepare. Because a worse war is coming, and when it does, I'll need every man in the north ready to fight. Lord Karstark speaks. What war? The Lannisters are broken. Joffrey has no army now. Robert will have to... Not that war. The war against the dead, against the White Walkers, against the Long Night. Jon's voice is hard. Certain, the dragon has shown me, winter is coming. Not just cold, not just snow. An army of corpses led by creatures of ice and darkness, and they're marching on the wall. Right now. Silence, the Lord staring, the Blackfish speaks. White Walkers are myths, stories to scare children. So were dragons, Jon gestures to the cannibal. Until today, believe me or don't, but I'm flying north, to the wall, to see the threat myself. And when I come back, I'll bring proof, and then you'll believe. Ned steps forward. Jon, if you're right, if the White Walkers are real, then we need to prepare. Gather armies, forge weapons, dragonglass, Valyrian steel, everything the legends say can kill them. I know, which is why I need you alive. I need you as Warden of the North. I need you leading the defense, because I can't do this alone. Dragon or not, I'm 15 years old. I've been bonded to this beast for weeks, not years. I need help. I need you. Ned embraces Jon. You'll have it. Whatever you need, whatever the North can give, it's yours. Robb, cousin, whatever you are, your family, and family protects family. Jon holds them both. Thank you. For everything, for raising me, for loving me, for not caring that I'm a dragon rider and a secret Targaryen, and... We care, Ned says. We just care about you more than the secrets. Your Jon, our Jon, and nothing changes that. Jon pulls back, wipes his eyes. I need to go to the wall to see what's coming, but I'll be back. And when I am, we'll plan, we'll prepare, and we'll face the long night together. He walks to the dragon, climbs onto the massive head, grips the horns. The cannibal spreads his wings, 200 feet from tip to tip, casting shadow over the entire camp. Tell Robert I'm alive. Tell him I'm Rhaegar's son. Tell him, if he comes for me, he dies. But if he leaves me alone, I'll leave him alone. I don't want his throne. I want the North safe, that's all. Ned nods. I'll tell him. But Jon, Robert won't accept this. He'll want you dead, dragon or not. And I'm going to save this realm whether it wants saving or not. The dragon takes flight, wings beating, rising into the sky. The Northern Army watches, awed, terrified, inspired. Jon flies north, toward the wall, toward the true enemy, toward the war that will decide whether the living survive or the dead inherit the world. The Wall, Castle Black. That evening, Lord Commander Jeor Mormont stands on the wall, 700 feet high, looking north. The sun is setting, red and gold, beautiful. Then, a shadow. Mormont looks up, sees something massive, blotting out the sun. Dragon on the wall. Rangers scramble, bows raised, scorpions manned. But Mormont raises his hand. Hold, don't shoot. Let's see what it wants. The cannibal descends, lands on top of the wall itself. The wall groans under the weight, ice cracking, but holding. Jon dismounts, walks toward Mormont, hands raised, peaceful. Lord Commander, I'm Jon Snow. I've come with a warning. Mormont stares. At the boy. At the dragon. At the impossibility of both. Jon Snow, Ned Stark's bastard. I've heard of you. You were supposed to take the black. Join the watch. What are you doing on a dragon? Long story, short version, I'm also Aegon Targaryen. The dragon bonded with me at birth, and I've come because the White Walkers are real. They're marching. And the wall is the only thing standing between them and the realm. Mormont's face goes grim. You've seen them? In visions, through the dragon's eyes. He's 248 years old. He remembers the first long night, and he's telling me, through our bond, that it's happening again. The Night King is coming, and he has an army of the dead. How many? Thousands. Maybe tens of thousands. Every corpse north of the wall. Every wildling who dies. Every ranger who doesn't come back. They're all part of the army now, Mormont curses. We have 700 men at Castle Black. Maybe 2,000 across the entire watch. We can't fight that. You won't fight alone. I'm going beyond the wall, tonight, to see the threat myself, to confirm what the dragon is showing me. And when I come back, I'm bringing the North. Every house, every army, will defend the wall together. And if the North doesn't believe you, Jon gestures to the cannibal, they'll believe this. Hard to deny the long night when a dragon is telling you it's real. See what's coming, but be careful. If the White Walkers can kill a dragon, they can't. Jon's voice is absolute, certain. Fire kills ice. Dragon fire kills everything. That's why the bond exists. Why the dragon woke when I was born. The magic knew. The threat was returning, and the realm needed a dragon to fight it. Jon climbs back onto the cannibal. When I return, I'll need dragon glass, obsidian, thousands of weapons. Where can I find it? Beaches of black sand. Then that's my next stop. After I see the army of the dead, the dragon takes flight, north. Beyond the wall, into the true north. The haunted forest. Beyond the wall, night. The cannibal flies low, following the landscape. Trees, snow, frozen rivers. Jon wargs fully, experiencing the flight through the dragon's senses. He can see in the dark. Dragon eyes. Better than human. Seeing heat, movement, life, and he sees nothing. No animals, no wildlings, no life at all. The forest is dead, silent, empty. Jon directs the dragon deeper, north, toward the lands of always winter. Hours pass. The cold intensifies, even the dragon feels it, an unnatural cold, magic touched. Then, courses animated by ice magic, marching in perfect formation, no sound, no breath, just movement. Giants, undead, massive, chains dragging mammoths behind them, and leading them, the White Walkers. 13 of them tall, pale, blue eyes, ice armor, swords of frozen crystal, and at the front, the Night King, taller than the others, crown of ice, eyes like frozen stars. He looks up directly at the dragon, at Jon, and smiles. Jon's blood goes cold. The Night King raises his hand, gestures. 3 White Walkers step forward, each holding a spear, ice spears glowing blue. They throw. The spears fly, faster than arrows, aimed at the dragon. Jon thinks, dive. The cannibal drops, wings folding, free-falling. The spears miss, barely. Jon thinks, fire. The dragon opens his jaws. Green flame pours down. It hits the army of the dead. Whites explode, burning, melting, destroyed. But the White Walkers don't burn. They walk through the flame, unharmed. The Night King raises both hands. The air around him shimmers, freezes. A wave of cold shoots upward, toward the dragon. Jon thinks, Clem, get out of range! The cannibal beats his wings, rising, fast, desperate. The cold wave passes beneath them, missing by feet. Jon's heart pounds. The dragon felt that. The magic. The power. The White Walkers can hurt them, maybe even kill them. But fire definitely kills whites. Jon saw it. Hundreds died in seconds. He directs the dragon higher, out of spear range, out of magic range, but low enough to see. The army continues marching south, toward the wall. Jon counts, estimates, at least 100,000 whites, maybe more. It's hard to tell in the darkness. He's seen enough. He turns the dragon south, back toward the wall. But as they fly away, Jon hears something, not with his ears, with his mind, a voice, cold, ancient, speaking directly into his thoughts. Dragon, fire, life, all must end. All must freeze, all must die. You cannot stop the night, you can only delay it. Jon doesn't respond, can't respond. The voice is too powerful, too cold. He flies faster, away from the voice, away from the Night King. But the words echo in his mind. The White Walkers are coming, and they're stronger than Jon expected. Dragon fire kills whites, but it doesn't kill White Walkers. And the Night King might be able to kill the dragon. Jon needs help. Needs weapons, needs an army. He needs Dragonstone. Dragonstone, the island fortress. 2 days later, the cannibal lands on the beach. Black sand, volcanic glass, obsidian. Jon dismounts, looks around. The island is deserted. Stannis Baratheon fled after his defeat. No garrison, no guards, just empty castles and dragonglass. Jon walks to the caves, the mines, enters. Inside, veins of obsidian, massive, everywhere. He touches it, feels the cold smoothness, the sharpness. This is what the legends say kills White Walkers. Dragonglass obsidian. Jon doesn't have time to mine it himself. He needs help. He wargs into the dragon, sends a message, not words, but images, feelings, intentions. Calling the North, calling Ned, calling everyone who swore to help. Come to Dragonstone. Bring smiths, bring miners, bring soldiers. We have work to do. Dragonstone. 3 weeks later, the island is transformed. Thousands of Northmen have arrived. Stark, Umber, Mormont, Karstark, Glover, all the great houses. They've brought miners, smiths, wagons, tools. The dragonglass mines are working day and night, extracting obsidian, shaping it into weapons, spearheads, arrowheads, daggers, swords enough to arm 10,000 men, then 20,000, then more. Jon oversees it all, flying patrols, hunting seals and whales to feed the workers, using the dragon's fire to help smelt and forge. Ned arrives with the last shipment, Robb beside him. They find Jon on the beach, watching the dragon swim in the shallows. Jon, we've armed 30,000 men, every northern house, every able-bodied fighter. Is it enough? Jon shakes his head. The army I saw had 100,000 whites, maybe more by now. We need everyone, the Vale, the Riverlands, even the South. The South won't come. Robert is furious about the dragon, about your claim. He's calling you a pretender, a rebel. Let him. I don't care about Robert. I care about the living surviving. If he won't help, fine, we do it without him. Robb speaks. Jon, there's something else. King's Landing has fallen, Joffrey is dead, Cersei is dead. Tywin Lannister surrendered the city without a fight. Jon blinks. What? How? You, the dragon, when you threatened to burn the city, the small folk rioted. They dragged Joffrey and Cersei into the streets, tore them apart. Tywin opened the gates, offered the city to whoever would take it. Robert is marching there now. To reclaim control, Jon laughs, bitter. So I ended 2 wars without even trying. The Lannisters and the Baratheons, all because they saw a dragon and realized their crowns mean nothing against fire. Ned steps closer. What do we do now? Now, we go north. To the wall, we set up defenses, dragonglass weapons, wildfire trenches, whatever we can build, and we wait for the dead to come. And when they do, Jon looks at the cannibal, at the dragon swimming, playing. We burn them, all of them, until nothing remains but ash, The Wall. 6 months later, the greatest army in Westerosi history has assembled. 30,000 Northmen, 10,000 Riverlanders, 15,000 Vale Knights, even some Dornish, some Reach, 200,000 soldiers total, armed with dragonglass, Valyrian steel, fire. The wall has been reinforced, trenches dug, wildfire barrels placed along the top. Jon stands on the wall, looking north. Beside him, Ned, Robb, Jorah Mormont, the Great Jon, every commander, and behind them, the Cannibal, perched on the wall itself, wings spread. Ready, the sun sets. Red, ominous. Then, the horizon moves. Not clouds, not snow. The army of the dead, 100,000 whites, marching slow, inevitable. The White Walkers ride dead horses at the front, ice swords gleaming, and leading them all, the Night King. On a dead dragon, Jon's blood freezes. Gods, he killed a dragon, raised it. Jon looks at Ned. This is it, the long night, the real war. Ned grips his shoulder. Then we fight, for the living, for the North, for the realm. Jon nods, climbs on to the Cannibal. He wargs, fully, completely, and the dragon roars. Green fire shooting into the sky. The battle for the dawn begins. The wall, the battle, the whites charge. 100,000 corpses running at the wall, climbing, clawing the defenders' loose arrows. Dragonglass tips, the whites that are hit fall. Shatter, die permanently. But there are too many, they pile on each other. Climbing higher, Jon thinks, burn them. The Cannibal dives, breathes green fire. The whites explode, thousands dying in seconds. But then, the ice dragon attacks, blue flame, freezing cold. It hits the Cannibal's wing. Ice spreads. The membrane freezing. Cracking. Jon screams. The pain shared through the bond. The dragon can't fly with a frozen wing. They crash onto the wall itself, the impact shaking the entire structure. Jon disconnects, stumbles off the dragon, his human body bruised, bleeding. The Night King lands his ice dragon, dismounts, walks toward Jon, slow, confident, inevitable. Jon draws his sword, dragonglass blade, the only weapon that can kill White Walkers. The Night King draws his ice sword. They face each other. Dragon Rider versus Night King. Fire versus ice. Behind Jon, the Cannibal, wing frozen, grounded, but alive. Angry, the dragon can't fly, but he can still fight. Jon thinks, help me. The dragon roars, lunges, jaws, snapping at the Night King. The Night King dodges, fast. Impossibly fast. He slashes, his ice sword cutting the dragon's snout, black blood spilling. Jon feels the pain, gasps, but he doesn't stop. He charges, swings his dragonglass blade. The Night King blocks. Ice sword meeting dragonglass, the impact sends shockwaves, both weapons vibrating. They fight. Jon young, fast, desperate. The Night King ancient, skilled, patient. Jon is losing. He knows it. The Night King is too strong, too experienced. But then, Ned appears, ice in his hands, Valyrian steel. He swings at the Night King's back. The Night King spins, blocks, but now he's fighting two opponents. Jon and Ned together, father and son, ice and dragonglass. They push the Night King back. Step by step, the Cannibal joins, breathing fire, the Night King dodging, barely. And then, Jon lunges, drives his dragonglass blade into the Night King's chest. The Night King freezes. Literally, his body turns to ice. Then shatters, exploding into 1,000 shards. The ice dragon screams, then shatters too. And all across the battlefield, every white collapses. Every White Walker explodes. The army of the dead is gone. Silence. The defenders stare, disbelieving. Then, cheering. Roaring, celebrating, they won. The living won. Jon collapses, exhausted, bleeding. But alive, Ned catches him. Jon, you did it. You killed the Night King, you saved us all. Jon looks at the dragon, at the Cannibal. Wings still frozen, but alive. We did it. Together, fire and ice, Stark and Targaryen. That's what it took. That's what it always took. Robb appears, grinning. The long night is over. The dead are defeated. What now? Jon looks south, toward the realm, toward the Seven Kingdoms. Now, we rebuild, we heal, and we make sure this never happens again. He stands, wobbly but determined. I'm going back to Skagos, with the dragon. We'll heal, train, and if the realm needs us again, if the darkness returns, we'll be ready. Ned embraces him. You're always welcome at Winterfell. Always. You're my son. No matter what. I know. And I love you for it. But I don't belong here. Not anymore. I'm something else now. Something between human and dragon. Between Stark and Targaryen. And Skagos is the only place I can be both. 3 months later, Skagos, the Maw of Stone. Jon sits in the central chamber. The dragon's wing has healed. The frozen membrane replaced with new growth. Ghost is back, reunited. The direwolf sleeping beside Jon's human body, while Jon's consciousness explores the dragon's mind. The Skagosi elder enters. Bows. Dragon King. Ravens have come. From Winterfell. From King's Landing. The realm is at peace. Robert Baratheon has acknowledged your existence. Your claim, he offers a truce. You stay in the north, he stays in the south. No conflict. Jon disconnects from the dragon, opens his eyes. Good. That's all I wanted. Peace. Safety. Time to prepare for whatever comes next. And what does come next? Jon looks at the dragon, at the beast that's been with him since birth, the bond that defined his life. I don't know. The Night King is dead. The White Walkers are gone. But the dragon showed me things. In his 248 years of memories, old threats, ancient enemies. Magic doesn't die. It just sleeps. And when it wakes again, you will be ready. We will be ready. Jon smiles. Me, the dragon, the North, will be ready for whatever the world throws at us, because we're fire and ice, dragon and wolf, and nothing can stand against that. He stands, walks to the dragon, places his hand on the massive head. The dragon's eye opens, green, burning, eternal. We did it, Jon whispers. We saved them, just like the bond was meant to. The dragon rumbles, not words, but feeling. Satisfaction, pride, love. Jon Snow, Aegon Targaryen, the Dragon King. The boy who warged into the Cannibal and changed the world. His story is just beginning. Epilogue, Winterfell. 10 years later, Jon stands in the Godswood. Older, scarred, wiser, he visits once a year to see Ned, to see Robb, to see the family that raised him. The dragon waits outside, too large to fit in the castle, but close, always close. Ned is older too, gray in his beard, but alive, healthy, happy. How's Skagos? Quiet, peaceful. The Skagosi are thriving, the dragon keeps the island safe. No one bothers us. And you, are you happy? Jon considers. I'm content. I have purpose. I protect the North from the shadows. Train, prepare. Live simply. No wife, no children. The bond is too strong. I'm not fully human anymore. Marrying, having children. It wouldn't be fair to them. I'm more dragon than man most days. Ned's face saddens. I'm sorry. I never wanted this for you. This isolation. This don't be. I'm not isolated. I have the dragon. I have the Skagosi. I have you. I have Robb. I have everything I need. Jon grips Ned's shoulder. You gave me life, purpose, love. Everything else is just details. They stand together, father and son, bound not by blood but by choice. And far above, the dragon circles, watching, protecting, eternal, the cannibal and Jon Snow, fire and ice. Dragon and wolf, the realm is safe, the long night is over, and the Dragon King stands ready, always. For whatever comes next, let us know what you'd like to see next. The end.